So today we're going to continue using Geometry Sketchpad to talk more about transformations. Specifically this time, we're talking about dilations. Whenever we talk about dilate, we're making things bigger. So as we do that, you can see in my example up here of a simple dilation around the origin, that being a really key factor. You can look for the patterns for what happens to A to A prime, B to B prime, and C to C prime. So you can look at that, and then we'll use Geometry Sketchpad in a little bit to confirm the scale factor and the dilating you did around the origin. Down here is where it gets a little more exciting. The way that I did number 8, that's what I've done right here as an example. You take the scale factor, which is listed here in the middle. You guys are going to do the top 3. I did the bottom one. And you're going to distribute it in to this parentheses and then add 4 each time. So I did an example for you here that you can see. You do it both for the X and for the Y, and you come up with this very simple expression. Now this one only works for number 8, so don't plug that in for yours. The only difference is you're going to take these scale factors that you have here on the end, and you're going to replace those as I had my 6's right here. So as this is getting a little messy, you guys are going to plug those in. As you do that, that'll then give you an expression just like I have out here on the end, and then from there you're then going to come up with your ordered pairs. I want you to do these 3 boxes, or actually I guess these 9 boxes and these 9 boxes, and answer the 2 questions that are on the end before you move on to the Geometry Sketchpad portion. The rest of the video should go really quick because we had an intro video last week. So go ahead and fill out those 2 boxes and answer those 2 questions because that's one of the things that I'm going to collect. So feel free to pause here. If you need to review this and see it again, you may. But go ahead and pause and complete. And complete. Alright, so you went to the wiki space and you downloaded this same file that I am looking at, or pictures of. Down in the bottom left, you're going to have 2 tabs. The 1 tab is going to be for numbers 1 through 4, and then the number 2 tab down there will be for numbers 5 through 8. It's really the same triangle. I've just labeled it for you so that way you can use the same one just to help keep up with the letters for you. First thing that you're going to do, you're going to identify what your center of dilation is going to be. In order to do that, you're going to double click on the center on 0, 0. As you do that, it gets this little highlighted portion. And then we got to highlight our entire thing. So you're going to box this in just by dragging your mouse from one corner to the other. That'll highlight the entire triangle. Then go up to the top on your options up top, transform, and you're going to click on dilate. The box that pops up, you're going to enter in whatever your dilation, whatever your scale factor is. So if it were 0.5, of course, that is going to come out as a fraction as, hopefully you can fill that in, I'm not going to give it to you. However, if you have a whole number, then for your whole number, of course, you're going to have it, for example, 2/1 is what I did in my example. Click on dilate. And when I do that, it gives me these 2 images. Now, I did a little left mouse click somewhere in this area so that way I could change the color so they weren't both yellow. So it gives me the image. Now, it's a little difficult to see, so if you come up here to this top, you can scroll up or scroll down. You can scroll left or right so that way you can see it. So that way we can identify what our points are, which that one there is, of course, 12, 4. And then this point up here is going to be 8, 10. So this one was 12, 4, 8, 10, and then that one was 2, 2. So that was what happened to my ordered pairs for A, B, and C respectively. This time we're going to be dilating around our other triangle. For some reason I have ABC pulled up, but if you click on tab 2, that will give you JKL. So we're going to highlight it. Then we got to identify what we're rotating around. So you're going to double click around L. When you double click on that point, it highlights it just like we've done before. And then of course we're going to click on transform up here at the top. And as we transform it, we then go to dilate. It's the same process. It brings up our box. I did the last one, which was probably the most difficult, so I did 6. You can already start to see kind of an outline of the shape coming out as it's dilating away from L. And I get this big old shape, which once again I recolored this. You just left mouse click as you left click, it gives you a color option. Many of you have already done that. So as you left click on the shape itself, it allows me to see it. But it's so big, I'm definitely going to have to scroll so that way I can see my image. And so this ordered pair you can see is 16. And we look across and it is negative 13 for our Y. So that's my point here. And then this point, I can see that the Y is definitely negative 19. But I can't see the X. So I drew a line, that way I could keep my eye on it. You could scroll up also, it'd work. So we know that the Y was negative 19. And then the X is going to be negative 14. So that gives me that point that was way on down there. So you are first going to do the Excel file. You're going to fill that out. You're going to use a little algebra to figure out what the points are. And as you do that, some of it's just really simple patterns. Some of it is filling in the scale factor times x minus 4 times 4, or excuse me, plus 4. Or it's the scale factor for the y, x minus 5 plus 5. The reason for that is the rotation point that we have. So our x is going to be this, our y is going to be this. Then you're going to use GSP. And going back to our original document where I had the little smiley faces there, that's what you're going to be filling in if it checks out or doesn't. Enjoy.